So was Luther Vandross the king of R&B in the 80s? It was a good question that came up because some of the candidates was James Ingram, Alexander O'Neal, Freddie Jackson, and Alexander O'Neal, James Ingram, Freddie Jackson, and Jeffrey Osborne. I had to remember all that because I listened to it and I had to take it back. And I'm doing this all off the top of my dome. So we going 40 years and we got to say, how does this work? And those were the four candidates. If Luther was the king of R&B, you know, and could you make that case? You could make a strong case of him being king of R&B in the 80s. He was prolific. He was productive. He was a balancing act of, he was very unique because um, he brought back Aretha Franklin with Jump to It and Get It Right. That was a huge statement. He worked with Dionne Warwick. He worked with different artistry. He was writing and producing for others. He had a successful career. He could cover your stuff. He was strong on stage. Yeah, you can make the case. I mean, Freddie Jackson was considered a Junior Whopper version of him. And I like Freddie a lot. Freddie was good. Freddie got cuts. So that was competition there 40 years ago. Think about that. That was comp. Um, James Ingram was one of my favorites. First time I saw James Ingram was in that funk band on Dolomite movie. And then, of course, he worked with Leon Haywood. He was in Leon Haywood's camp, Ray Charles's, and Just Once, 100 Ways on Quincy Jones's The Dude album, which was huge, successful, won awards. And then his Your Night, his debut album. Then he worked with Patty Austin, Baby Come to Me, with the Rod Temperton track and all that. And they had classics. And he wrote PYT for Michael Jackson. And he did a whole lot. And his wailing alone was, you heard on We Are the World, it was like a guitar wail. He had that whiskey wail. Ooh, you knew it when it was Ingram. They knew Jack Swing later too, but he could sing, so he make a strong case for him. He's very unsung. Then you get to Jeffrey Osborne, who's one of my favorites as well. LTD, great songs. Then he worked with George Duke on his solo albums. I Really Don't Need No Light to See, On the Wings of Love, all that. He had anthems. He had smooth, slow jams. He could groove. He had Stay With Me Tonight. He had a case. He was a strong suitor too. He had cuts and everything like that. So you can make the case for him. He definitely had some cuts and all that. I mentioned Freddie Jackson, You Are My Lady, Old Rockman Tonight, All Time Six. He had a distinctive formula, distinctive style. He was bad for a while. He had a good run of hits and everything. I Don't Want to Lose Your Love. Rock